One of the objects of the exercise in redecorating the shop was to be able to get at this vise on the lathe bench that has quite a lot of weld spatter on it. So this morning I'm going to clean that up, and that'll make it at least a little bit more available to me. I've moved this massive milling machine vise that I refurbished last spring to this crappy old table in the hope that, well, as I was saying before the SD card error, in the hope that that vise will support one of these two tools, the bead roller, for which I bought the drive system, which is up in the shelf up there. The English wheel tends to go properly into this vise. So I could mount this on this bench, leave the bead roller where it is until I need it. That's the opportunity anyway. I'm going to clean up the third vise in the shop, actually the fourth, I guess, and hope that I can put it to use this morning. Turns out there's a lot of Bondo on this that I hadn't noticed previously. I had not opened this vise until a moment ago. I guess keep my toes clear, but it sounds to me like it could use a little bit of lubricant. Yeah, that's interesting. Spraying out. What could possibly go wrong? Alright, let's take this out where there's a possibility of cleaning it out. The proper job, I would pull this cotter pin and then take this off and run it past a grinding wheel and clean out all the threads, but I think reassembling it by getting that spring in tight might be a challenge, so I'm going to leave well enough alone. Well, what we have here is a made in China tubing straightener that was advertised as for straightening PEX tubing, but it also seems like it's able to do anything between 1/8 and 1/2 inch tubing of any description, so let's go see what it looks like. I don't think the paint on the vise is dry yet, but and this of course comes with zero in the way of instructions, but you know, who needs instructions anyway? Today's second toy is the bead roller drive system. My lovely assistant here, whose name is on the door, helped me install the motor drive, which I have not yet tested out, but I see no reason for it not to work. Ha! Famous last words. Let's get rid of some of the glare here. There's that feeling you get when you read the instructions. Follow them as carefully as you've ever been known to follow instructions. Assemble the machinery, turn it into the position to start, and nothing happens. It happened this moment because I discovered that the plug is faulty. I had to take it all apart and screw around with it for a while, but it seems to be working, and I just found the guide for my bead roller, so I'm going to put it together and make a first test roll. We'll be right back. But in essence, that works. So, the foot switch needs to be closer to me. Well, that wasn't the perfect example, but not too bad. Crank it down a hair more. Come on. Yeah, you can see how that was a mistake. Still though, bead rolling. Yay. Thrilled. Okay, well, so there's the beads. One reverse, one inverse, or one up, one down, whatever. But it's working. Happy with that. Let's call that a day. In the famous words of Steve Jobs, one last thing. I think what I'll do is build a little base, nothing more than a support there, which will allow me to slide the bead roller back in the vise, still support it properly, and clear the end of the bench when I want to just sort of set it aside for a while. Could be fun. Anyway.